Welcome back to that Eurovision site where we're continuing with our Eesti Laul interviews. We're joined today by Anna Sahlene. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. I'm very well, thank you. The sun is shining, and I'm looking forward to the day. How are you?
Well, I wish the sun was shining here. Tell us a little bit about the song you're competing with, Love Me Low. What's the story behind the song?
So, so for this year, I I really wanted to bring. I mean, of course, my goal is to come to Eurovision, right? That is the goal for everybody competing. I would say, and I would think, and I feel since I am probably representing, a little bit more of the old school Eurovision, I really wanted to bring a real big Eurovision tune. So it's basically the song for me. It's an ode to like old Eurovision classics. It's a real grower, and I feel like this is something that would fit this audience, and it fits me, and it fits my history. So, and it will sound good in an sound good in an arena and look good in an arena. And and the message of the song is the wanting to be loved in your highs and in your lows, so to say.
And you wrote this song with, I guess,
Oh, we were a whole bunch of people actually. It was a collab between Swedish and Estonian songwriters. So I've both all of them have been in multiple, Melodifestivalen, Eesti Laul, and Eurovision. Um, yeah, in different shows throughout the year, and so the Swedish songwriters are David Lindgren Zacharias. He wrote Heroes with Måns Zelmerlöw, for example. Bobby Ljunggren, who has been written, well, what hasn't he written? He's been writing almost like everything for Melodifestivalen for 30 years. And then it's a girl called Michaela Stridbeck, very talented songwriter, and also my Estonian queens, Kairi Vilgats and Dagmar Oja, who's been, they're very known in Estonia as singers. Yeah. And me. So yeah, a collab.
and how is it to work with these people? Is it, of course, obviously they know these
Mm.
contestants so well. Is it
Mm.
How good is it
Yes.
to lean on them in situations like
It's
this?
it really felt like a dream team. Of course. I mean, it's like taking, the pros and putting them together. And I think that the song is, I mean, it's not necessarily that put together a bunch of very skilled people and that the outcome will be great. But I think in this case, I think this song is brilliant, and I am very, happy to be able to sing it and honored. And hopefully I will do it justice.
I think we actually found out just last night you actually submitted a second song. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, oh, you did. Yeah, I did. It's another song that I love dearly. And honestly, when I did, so I was in Eesti Laul in 2002, and I had two songs that I submitted then. And it was Champion who made it to the Eesti Laul, and then there's another song called Gravity. And I just couldn't choose because, Champion was more of my own writing, my own history, but I really loved Gravity too. So I thought, if I send them both in, kind of destiny will choose for me because I can't choose. And this year, when I was submitting Love Me Low, and I was like, I still can't let Gravity go. Like there's something with this song. It has to come out somewhere. And since I haven't released it, I felt kind of the same way because for me, it's sometimes it can be hard to take decisions. And I felt like I have two great songs this year too. Maybe if I submit them both, it's not up to me. It's up to fate. So yeah, but honestly, now when you reminded me, I had almost forgot that I did submit Gravity too. So maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it's not meant to be in Eesti Laul or Eurovision at all. Maybe I'll just release it
So,
in a more traditional manner. So,
so you've performed in Eurovision and Eesti Laul before. What is it that keeps making you want to come back to these shows?
oh God, it's probably it's different factors, but first of all, I love the connection with the audience because the Eurovision fans are very loyal, and it's a very, what shall I say? To me, I've been receiving so much appreciation, so much love, and so this is a very big and important part of my fan base. And it's the best way for me to reach out to this fan base through doing these shows again, even though i'm not um I'm not 100% a fan of the idea of competing in music because I do think it's impossible. Of course, somebody has to win because that's the format. But competing in music, that's like saying, blue is better than red, or stripes are better than stars. It's impossible. It's a matter of, it's subjective, and there will be different. I mean, everybody's competing in these different national finals. There will always be some fans that think that they are the favorite, and that's the beauty of it too. So basically, to boil it down, it's mostly to reconnect with my audience.
I was wondering, as
Mm,
somebody who is Swedish,
mm,
has participating in Eesti Laul like
mm,
shaped how you see like Estonia as a country? Is it like a second
mm.
home to you now?
Definitely, yes, definitely. Since I have a relationship with Estonia now that spans over 20 years, it has become a part of my life story, so to say. And I have been pretty, I've seen it as an honor, and I do still see it as an honor that I have been representing Estonia in Eurovision. And I feel like when I got the chance to do this back in 2002, I tried to, catch up on the country's history and its struggles through the years, and the whole historical challenges of being a small country, being a part of the whole Soviet, and it was complicated, and I felt like I have to understand certain things to be able to do this justice. And now I feel like I have a lot of Estonian friends, so I feel like I'm, as you said, it's almost like a second home country to me, and I feel like it's going to be like this for me, even though whether I do Eesti Laul later in my life or not, I still have this relationship with Estonia that's become a part of my life story.
And another connection you have to the Eurovision world is before and since you participated yourself, you've also been a backing singer for, amongst the people, Charlotte Perrelli, Dami Im. How
Yes,
does how does competing as a backing singer compare to as a lead artist, in like terms
mm.
of how do you prepare for it and stuff like that?
It of course has its similarities in some ways, but it's also a totally different experience. It's As a backup singer, it's more like you do your job. You need to, first of all, be a good and very stable singer so your nerves don't get the best of you because your job is to enhance the song and your job is also to be somebody that the lead singer can rely on. So there are no, since you are there as like a hired professional, just like maybe the sound engineer or the designer or whatever, there are no room for mistakes at all. You need to do your job, do it professionally. But is there so much pressure on you? No, of course not. You have more time. You don't have to do interviews. You can do a little bit of, sightseeing in the place you're in. You can also be like bonding with the other, backing singers or artists and just maybe relax and enjoy a little bit more. But when there's a solo artist, which is, by the way, I mean, that is my profession to be a solo artist. Somehow I've just ended up in Eurovision as a background singer, mostly because I can't seem to not go to Eurovision. It's just it's too much fun. So when somebody asks me, I'm like, whatever, I'll say yes, even if it's a background singer. But anyway, as a solo artist, of course, it's much more pressure, and you constantly have a very busy schedule. There are interviews, there are big media outlets, and there are like tiny fan base podcasts that like, and everything in between. And so it's much of a bigger pressure, but of course it's also much more fun.
And
So
this isn't the only competition you've been affiliated with recently. Can you tell us about Squid Game The Challenge?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I one day I got a DM from a casting director from the UK, actually, in my Instagram inbox, which I thought was a joke. They said, "Hi, we are currently casting people to the biggest reality series ever produced, Squid Game The Challenge. Is going to be filmed in the UK. We think you would be perfect for it." And I'm like, "Who? Me? What?" And first I thought it was a joke, but I am a very curious person, so I couldn't help myself. I had to reply. And I said, "Could you tell me a little bit more about it?" And she said, "Let's talk about it." And by that, the ball was rolling, and I felt like, no, I can't do this. I shouldn't. Why should I do this? And I'm like, nah, I'm too curious. I have to do it. So yes, I ended up as player 142 in Squid Game: The Challenge. I got eliminated in the, oh, maybe I should, yeah, it's out already, so I'll spoil. In the third show, I was eliminated. I was super mad about it because I couldn't do anything about it. It wasn't by my own mistake, it was somebody else's mistake. And I felt like I was, I wasn't shown much on TV, which bothered me a little bit, but it was a big cast. What are you going to do? But I felt like I had probably, the what do you say? I think I could have gone very far in this competition if they would just have let me, because I'm good with people, and I think that in stressful situations I operate very good. Mm. So yeah, but it was insane though. I mean, I could talk a lot about this experience, but it's probably not time for that now.
Switching up a bit, as well as performing your own music, you've
Mm.
also in the Swedish dubs for quite a few films. Is that something
Yeah,
you can tell us about?
yeah. Mm. You know the song. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno from Encanto. I'm doing the Swedish version of that. So it was a big surprise a couple of years ago when all of a sudden my Spotify algorithm exploded. I'm like, what's streaming so much? I'm like, oh my God, they released Bruno, and somehow it's number one all over the world. So that was fun. I have been dubbing films for, I don't know, 25 years. So, and once in a while, one of them just blows up like that. So, yeah, it's
What
something
would
I do.
what would be the favorite film you've ever done dubbing work for?
Oh, I think that Encanto probably was one of the more fun ones. I know I also did Happy Feet was also fun. There was a lot of singing in those ones. Yeah, it will be those.
And returning to Eurovision slightly,
Mm.
how do you when you're not in it, obviously, how closely do you follow the competition every year? Is it just a case of switching it on in May, or do you like pay more
Yeah,
attention?
I don't follow it religiously. That's not what I do, but I definitely, want to watch it every year. I try to make a little Eurovision night at home. And but sometimes, there are a lot of events. If you are a Eurovision artist, there are a lot of events around Eurovision. So sometimes I actually have a show or a gig on the Eurovision nights, but then I try to see it afterwards. I'm not very good at remembering, all the songs and all the artists, but I definitely want to see it. And some songs stick with me every year.
Is there any examples of the songs that stick with you?
Oh God, it could be so different, and also like in different ways. I remember, of course, like everybody else did, like when Conchita won, I think that was such a strong moment. It was such a strong performance, and their performance was, yeah, it just hit my heart, and the song was amazing. I That's one of the things I remember, but also I loved when I know that maybe a lot of Eurovision fans, this is not their favorite winner, but it's one of my favorite winners. Amor Pelos Dois. I loved when, what's his name again? Salvatore?
Uh, Salvador Sobral, yeah.
Salvador, yeah. When his sister came up, I'm like, I think it was so tender and so beautiful. But then I can also like really, really enjoy a song like um, Rambabadam, ayas late kami finas in the sun, hage booty loco loco. Uh, like three dolls from, like, where are they from? Like
Serbia.
Serbia, yeah, like three Bosnian dolls, like the hair, the makeup, that like so I love that song too, but it's totally different parameters, right? So and I think that the last winner, what's the name of the artist again?
Nemo.
Nemo, yeah. I loved Nemo too. I think Nemo is such a great performer. And I just watched, just last week, I actually watched Nemo's music video for the winning song. And that was great too.
Yeah,
Have you seen it on a train?
yeah.
I didn't see it before. It was so good. So yeah,
Well,
I'm a Nemo fan from now. Yeah.
thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Just finally, is there anything you'd like to say to the Anna Sahlene fans out there?
Yeah, I would like to say thank you for supporting me through all these years, and I hope that you like Love Me Low. If you do, please, share it, stream it, dance to it, and have fun with it. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.